Before I criticize Milo Yiannopoulos, I just wanted to say that I like Milo. Milo is a troll who stands up for free speech against the tide of censorship and offense culture. Milo's a gay Christopher Hitchens. I hear that Milo likes black people too. Now that that's out of the way, let's criticize Milo. He deserves it. Recently, media outlets put a hit piece on Milo, uncovering a video from the Drunken Peasants podcast where Milo advocates in support of hebephilia, that is, having sexual attractions with children who are going through puberty. If you don't believe me, this is exactly what Milo said.
I'll be quick. This arbitrary and oppressive idea of consent, which totally destroys, the understanding that many of us have of the complexities and subtleties and complicated nature of many relationships. People are messy and complex, and actually, in a homosexual world, particularly, some of those relationships between younger boys and older men, the sort of coming of age relationships, the relationships in which those older men help those young boys to discover who they are and give them security and safety and provide them with love and a reliable and sort of a rock where they can't speak to their parents. Some of those relationships are some of the most
molestation to me. It sounds
well,
like
you know what?
It sounds like Catholic priest molestation to me.
And you know what? I'm grateful for Father Michael. I wouldn't give nearly such good head if it wasn't for him.
Oh my God! I can't handle it.
It's funny because
what is wrong with you, Ben?
Ben gave me some homework on you, Milo. He gave me a few videos to watch to brush up on my Miloisms. And one of the things that you said in one of these clips was that transgenderism is the new, frontier of rights. My wording is bad here, but it's a new frontier of social progress. And the next thing in line is going to be pedophilia. And yet here you are talking about how, look, some of these kids that get diddled by these priests, I mean, it's a good thing for them. They're getting this love. And now they are also getting
You're misunderstanding what pedophilia means. Pedophilia is not a sexual attraction to somebody 13 years old who is sexually mature. Pedophilia is attraction to children who have not reached puberty. Pedophilia is attraction to people who don't have functioning sex organs yet, who have not gone through puberty, who are too young to be able to understand the way their bodies work. That is not what we're talking about.
And culture.
Granted. You are advocating for cross-generational relationships here. Can we be honest about that?
Yeah, I don't mind admitting that, and I think particularly in the gay world and outside the Catholic Church, if that's where some of you want to go with this, I think in the gay world, some of the most important, enriching, and incredibly, life-affirming, important, shaping relationships, very often between younger boys and older men, can be hugely positive experiences for those young boys. They can even save those young boys from desolation, from suicide,
they're consensual. Hold on.
All sorts of things, provided they're consensual.
The link to the full podcast is in the description below. In short, Milo's argument on the podcast was that it's fine, sometimes beneficial, to have consensual relationships, including sex, with young teens going through puberty. In the podcast, Milo says 13 years and older. In an interview with Joe Rogan, Milo says 15 years and older, but the same principle is applied. Milo thinks that it's okay to have sex with children who are going through puberty. There's no way getting around it.
I was in my teens, something like that.
That's what you said. 14 is pedophilia, buddy. I don't know how they rock it in merry old England.
I was in my teens.
Over here in my country, in
fucking
where you are right now,
You've never seen a 15-year-old girl at any point in your life, however old you were, you've never seen a 15-year-old girl you thought was hot?
Yeah, when I was 15.
No, when you were 25. When you were 25.
I'm not retarded, dude.
When you were 25, when you were 30, you will have seen girls about 15 you thought were hot.
No,
of course
I thought they were
you
little
did.
kids.
No, you didn't.
I thought, damn, she's going to be hot, but I didn't want to fuck her.
Bullshit.
Not bullshit at all. Look. You can't tell me what I was born into.
So, where do we begin? Though Milo is a troll, it doesn't appear like Milo was joking in those videos. When given a chance to explain his position, and he explained his position quite well, he stated almost exactly what people in the media had characterized. Milo might not technically be considered a pedophile, but what Milo is advocating for, legally speaking, is pedophilia. More so, the principle of that argument, it's okay to have sex with people who are going through puberty, is deeply immoral. It's immoral because A, children, even young teens, can't consent to sex because the regions of the brain that involve sexual pleasure hasn't been developed. Thus, B, there's a high likelihood that kids who are introduced to sex at an early age in cognitive development grow up with behavioral issues, including but not limited to depression and suicide. There's also a clear power dynamic between those who are adults and those who are children, even early teens. Milo, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. In this case, what you advocated for was deeply immoral. So when I read your public statement on your Facebook page, it seems like you were justifying a lot of what you already had been explaining to people. Like, for example, when you said anyone who suggests I turn a blind eye to illegal activity or the abuse of minors is unequivocally wrong. Well, Milo, when you advocate having sex with 13 or 15-year-olds, not only is that illegal, that's also abuse. And then when you, Milo, go on to say I'm opposed to normalization of pedophilia, yeah, I'm not really buying it. You weren't joking, thus this wasn't dark humor. There wasn't any deeper meaning or context to what you were saying. You were arguing that having sex with children who are going through puberty was okay, sometimes beneficial. So what the heck? Lastly, before this video ends, I just wanted to say that Milo himself claims to be a victim of sexual abuse. Throughout Milo's career, he often mentions that a priest sexually abused him when he was younger. In fact, in his own public statement on Facebook, he said, quote, "I am a gay man and a child abuse victim. I would like to restate my utter disgust at adults who sexually abuse minors." I would believe Milo. However, when Milo says things like this, I can't really believe anything he says.
Do you think I make a good priest? I think I make a good priest.
Well, you make a good priest if you think the guy that made you suck his dick was a good priest. That kind of good priest.
He was a great priest. Honestly, like he was
he was good other than that?
I've never had a better singing tutor. He was great.
Singing teacher.
He got notes out of me I didn't even know I could produce.
So, what is it, Milo? Are you a victim of sexual abuse? Or do you think what happened to you wasn't sexual abuse? You can't have it both ways, Milo. Regardless, you seem a little broken. I love the work you do, Milo, but what you advocated for in those videos was unacceptable. I don't care if you're a troll. It doesn't seem like you were trolling in those videos and the points you were making. I'm not going to ignore it or pretend like I agree with it just because I like the work you do. Also, Milo, if you were sexually abused, you need to find the abuser. If not, he'll go out and abuse more children. I'll end the video with that. Take care, Milo. If you like criticizing people on both the right and the left, like and subscribe to Rebel.media.